Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making a video on how I make my candles. So I'm going to just be walking you through step by step. I'm going to be showing you all the supplies that I use. And yeah, we're just going to be talking a little bit about the different ways you can make candles as well versus the way that I'm doing it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so your first step is to prep your jars. So I've already put my wicks into these jars here. I am using wood wicks, like I mentioned earlier, but all you do really is you take your sticker here, you center it as much as you can at the bottom there. You take your little metal piece there for the wood wick, place that on top, press and hold for maybe about 10 to 15 seconds, just to make sure that it's super secure. And then of course you're going to place your wood wick on the metal part there. And yeah, that's all I really did to prep these jars with the wicks. And yeah, let's move on to the next step. And I've just measured out another container here, again, just a pound and a bit, because I'm gonna make a few candles. I want 2 of these. So let's go ahead and pour in my second batch there. Perfect. We're just gonna pop on the lid. And let's go ahead and turn it on. And what we're gonna do is make sure that our temperature is at 185. So this is the very specific part to making candles, kind of like baking, where it needs to be that specific temperature, because I've had it maybe 5 degrees or 4 degrees less, and your candle does not come out properly. It won't burn smoothly. It's just going to cause a lot of chaos. So 185 is where you want it, and that is exactly why I use this melter specifically, just because when you're doing it on the stovetop, you have to constantly go with your thermometer to make sure you're at the right temperature. And then of course, usually what ends up happening is you're a little bit over, and then you have to wait for it to cool down to that exact temperature, and you have to catch it right then, right? So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wait for it to get to that 185. If you do have this melter, you're just waiting for the yellow or the green light. Of course, green is good. Sometimes if you go to yellow, I'll still double check it with my thermometer here, just to double and triple check that I'm at 185. And yeah, we're gonna wait for that to do its thing. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so all right, so now that our wax is at 185, I did go ahead and pour the amount that I use for my scent. Now, in regards to how much to use, honestly, you need to come up with your own recipe, because some people are sensitive to scent. Some people, want a stronger fragrance, want a lighter fragrance. So that is something that you kind of need to play around with on your own and, figure out what works for you. So as you can see, we're already there. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm just going to unplug it as well, just in case. And I'm going to go ahead and add my scent. I'm just going to pour super slowly there. Okay. And I'm just going to grab my dedicated spoon here. Just a second. And we're just going to give it a nice little mix here. You do want to mix pretty slowly, like just so that it can evenly spread out throughout the wax. Because if you're not mixing properly, then you will end up with, some candles that smell lighter than others. And you just want to make sure it's as even as possible, right? So usually do this for a good, another 10 to 15 seconds here. Okay. All right. So now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and let it sit. And now what we're wanting is for it to go down to about 160 or 165. So usually, from what I've been doing, Usually it takes about 20 to 25 minutes for it to get down to that temperature. And so what I'll do is in 25 minutes, I'll come back, use my thermometer just to be sure it's at 165. You can technically use the dial as well to go down to 165. I just do it this way because I find that as soon as it's turned off, it cools a lot faster. With the dial, you might be waiting like 30 to 45 minutes. So I just do it this way because it's quicker. But yeah, we'll see you back in 25 minutes and we'll get to pouring our jars. Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're going to be checking our wax to make sure it's at the right temperature. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to use my thermometer. And we're looking for anything between 150 to 165. Usually is a good range to start pouring your wax, because if you start pouring your wax either too hot or too cold, it will not burn properly. The wax won't be at the best consistency. So again, anything between 150 to 165, you're in a really good range. So let's see. And just again, I did wait about 25 minutes. Okay, so it looks like okay, we're at like 152, maybe 153. Yeah. Okay, so my thermometer is starting to slow down, so it's gonna sit in like around 153. So we're good to go to start pouring. So typically what I do is I'll just pour into here and then hand pour. But of course you can, do what's best for you. Sorry guys, here we go. Again, this is why I love this wax melter here. It's just super easy to use. It pours, fairly slowly as well, which again, it's all important stuff when making candles. Okay, that's good there. And we're ready to pour. Okay. So again, super slow. And I usually fill mine just up to about there, because I don't want them to be, too small, but I don't want to like overflow them as well. So that's kind of where I pour to. So I'm just going to do this for all the candles here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let them sit. And the curing process is about 48 hours. So some people do 24. I usually do 48. So we'll let them sit for 48. And then we'll go back and just kind of retouch them and make sure they're smooth with our heat gun, which I'll show you in the next step. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it has been 48 hours since the last part here. So as you can see, the candles are all cured. They're ready to go. I actually didn't get any sinkholes or anything like that this time, but if I do in the future, I'll be making a separate video to show you how to fix that. So these ones turned out pretty good. All we have to do now is just trim the wicks. So I do have actual tool here that's specifically to cut wicks, but you can just use scissors. When I started, I just used regular scissors, but I find this just gives a bit of a more clean cut. So usually that is about where I cut my wicks, so I'll show you here in a sec. Like that. And you don't want them to be too short, because if you cut your wick too short, the candle is just going to burn down, and then your candles are going to tunnel instead of giving an even burn. So when I first started, I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a bigger wick. and then I cut too short, and then my candles were tunneling. So this is usually where I cut, and then I just use this as a frame of reference when I'm cutting the rest of my wicks, so that they're all even. And there you have it, people. That is how you make candles. And I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.